Hello, my name is Duffy from Chaos Routine. Today we're going to be talking about Land. The game is an action-adventure roguelike base builder developed by Massive Monster and published on August 11, 2022 by Developer Digital. To start off, let's give a quick overview of the story. You play as the last lamb, the rest sentenced to death by the four bishops to prevent the prophecy. Just as you had been executed, you are taken to the afterlife, where you meet the one who waits. He gives you the red crown and tells you to make a cult in his name. Your goal now is to kill the four bishops and free him. Now that's the basic plot of the game, but there is a lot of lore, and I don't have time to cover that, so I'll leave it to other YouTubers. Anyway, let's talk about the minigames. There are a few different minigames: fishing, cooking, and knucklebones. Knucklebones is my favourite. Basically, you take turns trying to make the highest number in a 3x3 grid. It's hard to explain, and the game's a far better explanation, so I'd just recommend either looking at someone playing it or just playing the game, to be honest. You have to play at least 3 times if you want to collect all the tarot cards. That is the most important thing to know about Knucklebones. You can also gain a bit of money from gambling, but it's not guaranteed. The next mini-game I'll be talking about is fishing. It's basically fishing from Stardew Valley, to be honest. You have to keep a hook in a blue box that moves up and down. Last but not least, cooking. It's a very simple game. You have a white line that moves from side to side. You have to press the right time so it lands in the blue box. If you miss, you'll burn the food and you'll have to clean up. The next thing I want to talk about is the combat. Now, a lot of people say it's the weaker part of the game. I still did enjoy it. It's rather simple. There's 3 buttons you need to learn: dodge, hack, and your curse ability. But according to Massive Monster's Twitter, there is going to be a combat update soon, so things may change, and I'm really excited to see what they do. And if you are too, subscribe, because I might do a video when it comes out. There are 5 different weapon types that can be upgraded in the skill tree: daggers, swords, axes, gauntlets, and hammers. When you start your crusade, you don't know what weapon you'll get. It is completely at random. There are new ways to get different weapons, but they might not be the one you want. You don't really get a choice, but it's a different option, just in case. Another thing that will change up the gameplay is the tarot cards. There is a lot of them. They give you different abilities, and I don't know what they all do. The curses you can also upgrade in the skill tree. The way to get points for the skill tree is by doing sermons regularly and filling up the meter. On your crusades, you'll run into different merchants. These will unlock new areas on the minimap. You can visit them, you can buy stuff, and there's a few quests you can do there. There's not much I can really say about them, other than that. The next thing to talk about is followers and the cult. The base building, by far, is one of my favourite I've experienced in games. It's really fun. It's complemented beautifully by the cute aesthetic, really contrasting the occult themes, and I really enjoyed it. There's a few things to keep in mind. Without food, you're going to die. Without faith, they'll become centers and leave you, and if they get sick, they'll die. They can get sick from being exposed to dead bodies, poop, vomit, and just being made ill by some of the cutscenes. There are ways to deal with this, mostly by improving your infrastructure, getting toilets, creating farms, and building sick base can be really useful because you can control your own villages as long as you have hobbies. Fun fact, you know there's 2 types of cannibalism: endo and exo-cannibalism. When you pull up a lamb, you do endo-cannibalism. Endo-cannibalism is eating people in your own group, whereas exo-cannibalism is eating people in your outer group. Endo-cannibalism is primarily used to honour the dead, whereas exo is to disgrace them. The last thing I want to talk about is the bosses and mini-bosses. There are 3 mini-bosses on each dungeon. After you complete those, you fight the bishop, the final boss of that dungeon. Now, they have a really cool transformation. Spoiler warning, the next part of the video will basically say the ending of the game. Okay, so the 5th and final boss of the game is optional. You can choose to bow down and sacrifice yourself and your cult to the one who waits to free him. But if you want to, you can fight him, and if you win, he'll become a follower that you can customize, and he's immortal. There's a bunch of benefits to having him, but you don't have to go this route because you get an option to spare his life or kill him. The boss fight He was very difficult. You had to fight two mini bosses before him, then you had to fight him, and then he has a second stage as well. But I did this on my first try. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, I'm very happy to hear that, and feel free to leave a like. Goodbye.